We've got our brand new virtual machine up and running, and the first thing that you want to do on any computer when you first set it up is you want to apply all of the updates that are available for the operating system and all of the supporting software. This can be kind of a big deal on Windows because we have to go through the Windows update process, and that can sometimes take a little while. Thankfully, on Unix and Linux, it's a little easier. So in Linux, particularly in Ubuntu, we use something called the Advanced Package Tool, or APT for short. So you're going to see a lot of commands with APT in it coming up. The other thing that I want to warn you about is that the operation we're about to do is a privileged operation, meaning you have to be a system administrator in order to do it. Some Linux distributions allow you to log in as root, which is technically what we logged in as. And that's different from how it works in Ubuntu. In Ubuntu, if you want to do a privileged operation, you have to type the command sudo, S-U-D-O. That's short for super user do. So we're going to type in sudo, and then we're going to type in the apt command. So it's apt, apt, and then we'll do update. We'll hit enter. A bunch of stuff will happen. And what it's doing is it's updating all the versions in its database, so it knows what the latest version is on all these different pieces of software. And when we get down to the bottom of it, it says there are 148 packages that we can upgrade. If you wanted to, you could do apt list upgradable to see them, but we're just going to install them. This is generally what you do. These are mostly security. You can see from in the body of the text that's what a lot of this is. Some of them are updates, but a lot of them are security. So you really want to keep all of this up to date. So let's perform our upgrade. Let's do sudo apt full upgrade -y. The -y, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? The answer to that is yes, and so we're just going to skip that question and do -y. And this can sometimes take a few minutes, but I think this one's going to go pretty fast. My installation's been running for a little while now, and it just popped up with this message. I don't see this every time I do this, but it's worth mentioning because if I ran into it, there's a good chance that you might too. So which option to pick? I usually just keep the local version that's currently installed. With keep the local version already installed, you can use your arrow keys to move up and down, but with keep local version already installed, just press enter. And if it asks again, just do it again. And that was it. So it's done. So now my system is up to date. All the latest software patches and security patches are here. Generally, at this point, I usually reboot the system. So let's do that. We'll do sudo shutdown -r for restart. You definitely want to restart. If you do the other command for this, which is an H, that shuts the system down and doesn't reboot it, it just shuts it down. Very handy, but not usually what you want on a virtual machine. If you were to do the -H and it shut down, you could start it back up again by logging back into DigitalOcean and using the website to restart it. Okay, so we're going to do sudo shutdown -r for restart, and I'm going to tell it to do that now. Typically, it will wait a few minutes. You can have it shut down 12 hours from now if you want to. You just have to change this command up a little bit. But this one is just going to shut it down right now. And of course, this is going to knock us off of our connection. So at this point, all we have to do is wait a few minutes. Once you've waited for a few minutes, we can try to log back in. The easiest way to do this is to just hit the up arrow key on your keyboard. This works on the Mac, the PC, it works everywhere. That gives you the last command that you typed in. Now remember at this point that we are not on the remote system. We are on our local computer. That same trick will work when you're in SSH, but when you're logged into the other machine, it's going to give you the commands that you executed on that machine, not the one that you're sitting in front of right now. So this has probably been enough time. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to ask me for my passphrase again. Note that it didn't ask me that question over again, are you sure you want to trust this site? Because we already told it, yes, we do. And that apparently was enough time. And I can now see that my system is updated. Down at the bottom, it says 0 package can be updated. 0 updates are security updates. So everything is up to date. You want to do this from time to time on your server once it goes into production. Because if you let these packages go lapse for too long without updating them, you're going to have a server that's easier to hack into. So there's definitely a maintenance component here, and you just do the exact same process. You do the update, and then you do the full upgrade, and then you reboot it. And I recommend doing that weekly or monthly. Just depends on what your schedule is and how popular your site is, I guess. So just don't forget to do that. I'm going to remind you again towards the end of the course. If you found value in this video, if you learned something new, help me out with a like and subscribe. For more videos on software development and DevOps from a developer's perspective, check us out at maddevskills.com or on Twitter @devskills.